Hello Ben, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Right, so an associate professor at the Warwick University. So the topic today is upskilling the workforce, the future of work. So we see that the industry is shifting more and more towards sustainability. So how are you approaching it?
I think the sustainability in a range of different industries is really, really important. And the aerospace industry doesn't necessarily have the best reputation when it comes to sustainability. So the shift in technologies is really important. So Warwick University and WMG are really involved in, particularly around electrification. Companies like Electriflight and organisations like that we work with very, very closely to start to drive the future of sustainable air travel. But a really critical part for me is how we ensure that once we've got the technologies and once we're doing that research, that we have a workforce that is actually capable of carrying the industry forwards.
We're seeing talent shortages across industries, the Great Resignation in the US, lots of things happening on that front. What's your take on that?
I prefer to talk about opportunity rather than shortage. And granted, there are some skills at the moment that are in high demand, and we can't fulfill those demands with the individuals that we've got in the market right now. I think what's really, really important is that we put together a sustainable strategy to build that talent domestically. So what we're seeing, particularly here in the UK, is individuals leaving jobs, getting headhunted, getting paid a lot more to move to other companies. And we're seeing this sort of upward spiral in terms of wages, and it's unsustainable. That will not carry any of the industries that we're working with forward. So what we need to look at is how we grow that talent from the ground up. So that is what we do with kids in schools. When they come out of school, how we make sure then they're able to transition into the workplace effectively. And what we're seeing more and more now is that as certain technologies become more prevalent, so we talk about batteries, we talk about electric motors, hydrogen fuel, robotics, data analytics, that these transcend sectors. So it doesn't matter if you're in aerospace, automotive, rail, utilities, you probably have got a really transferable skill set that you can carry across different industries. So I think as we focus on those transcendent skills, we're able to build a much more mobile workforce, which will mean that as things shift, as they will, once we've dealt with electric vehicles by 2035, then there's going to be even more emphasis on aerospace and flight to get to that net zero by 2050. And we'll have a workforce that can move from one to another because we have those transferable skills.
Right, this sounds great. But what are the relevant skills needed to build a more sustainable industry, a more sustainable future?
Having a really strong basis in terms of what sustainability means. And that doesn't necessarily mean that organisations need to go and employ sustainability specialists. That's their entire workforce understanding their role in creating a sustainable future, whether that is reducing waste, whether it's new designs, whether it's design for recycling, whatever it might be. So I think that's really key. And then, as I say, it's these almost transcendent technological skills. Like we need people who understand robotics and digital manufacture and data analytics. They understand batteries, they understand alternative fuels. These are really critical skills. Now that doesn't necessarily mean we have to go right down into the detail and say you have to be a specialist in sustainable fuels for aerospace. Sustainable fuels are sustainable fuels, whichever way we look at them. So I think we have an opportunity globally really to create a workforce that has a series of these transcendent skills that they can then apply in lots of different spaces as needs change.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Great insights. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.